Live again. Yeah. Okay. So first, what's good? Everybody tuning in. Hope y'all still supporting me on my journey, my documentation journey. You feel me? Because that's what I'm calling it now. I saw somebody say, um, for introverts like myself, 'cause I like to be to myself by default. You know, just the word content creation, it makes you feel like, damn, this is something I got to do. Versus if you call it documentation, it's different. That's why I've been calling it. That's why I've been calling it lately in my head. Like I'm documenting some shit because this is all just timestamps of my life where I'm at right now. This is some shit I look back on when I'm 24 now. So like when I'm 27, 28, 29, I can look back and like, damn, this is what I was doing like 3, 4, 5 years ago on some shit. So I say that to say I'm trying to be more consistent with this. So I appreciate everybody who's still fucking with me as I build slowly but surely, taking those steps. But with this, I had a thought about this with the title. It's timeless music dead. So I'm asking, like, for anybody who's watching this, do y'all think that like timeless music is dead? Are we making like still timeless music? And when I say timeless music, like, look, good music has no expiration date. Like, when you think of timeless music, these are songs that will be played until the end of time, literally. Like, these are songs that will be continue to be played by the masses at parties, kickbacks, events. They'll be played in commercials and stadiums and shit. You know what I'm saying? All of this shit is timeless music, like that we're making today. Is that such a thing? Like, do artists make, like, do y'all think like artists make timeless music today? Low key, I feel like yes. I feel like yes, we do. I feel like timeless music is definitely still being created, but it's not being pushed to the masses. Not like how it used to be. I don't think. I also don't think there's really that much of an incentive to make timeless music. And when I say timeless, like think of the songs. Like songs that I was listening to in my free time gave me this like idea for this type of video. Like, bro, I saw the BET performance of Fire and Desire by Rick James and Tina Marie. It was the last performance that they did together while he was still alive because he had passed away like literally months after that performance in 2004. So when that happened, I was just a baby. I was born in 2001. So I don't even remember that shit for real. But I was watching the video and I was like, damn, it was funny. It was funny because they old as hell and they passed their primes. But I listened to that song like when it was recorded off of his album Street Songs in what, 83. I listened to that whole in my free time and I'm just like, bro, this is amazing. This is amazing. But it's like, well, who today is even trying to make some shit like that? Or like I got all these records and shit. I got a couple records, on my record player. I can't show y'all on here, but to the side of me, like by my window, I got a record player and I got shit by Keith Sweat. I got Snoop Dogg and Outkast and shit and Thriller. You feel me? That's timeless shit because this is all shit that was made well before I was born. But I know I'm not the only nigga that's my age that's in my generation that listens to that type of shit. Even though some of those songs like Thriller or some of those albums like Thriller or Make It Last Forever, those are approaching almost 40 years old. That shit, like my mom listened to growing up as a kid, is shit, you know? But it's just with timeless music, like I said, it don't got no expiration date. You feel me? Like Make It Last Forever is one of those ones. Make It Last Forever is one of those ones. That's what I mean by like timeless music. That's one of them ones. Nigga, Gin and Juice is one of the ones. What would be a modern example of one of the ones that we have today? Not like us. I mean, we kind of can say that because look at what it did. And look at what Not Like Us did. You feel me? Um, but even then, that's still not because now it's been 2 years past that shit. I ain't played that song. I ain't played that song not once since the calendar flipped to 2026. I ain't gonna lie. But I recognize it's one of those ones because I remember when it dropped. You feel me? Maybe that's why. But I don't know. I'm just thinking like I feel like now we do make timeless music, but you kind of have to look for that shit more because it's not being pushed to the masses. There's no real incentive to make timeless music like that no more. Not to the masses. You feel me? Like I don't know. I'm trying to think like what would be because I ain't trying to diss nobody. However, some of the shit that's being pushed out is like, bro, do you really expect niggas to listen to this like 5 years from now? How many of these people that we see, pop out today, how many of them are really just like flash in the pan type of artists? They're gonna be here and gone within a couple years. You know, gimmicks. You know, most people. Well, I ain't gonna say most, but a lot. A lot of people chase gimmicks. A lot of people think gimmicks is their way to the top, or like chasing trends. You feel me? Chasing trends. People want to take a shortcut. See, me, I would rather build from the ground up. I know I used to think like, damn, maybe if I could, because I mean that's human nature. Everybody wants to be there right now, but it take time. It take time, especially like if you say like you get there now, but you're not ready. You gonna fizzle out. You feel me? I'd rather take my time, get ready, you know, go through the hardships and shit, and which I already am going through. I've already had a couple people tell me, "Oh, you should stop. You sound white. Uh, you suck. Stick to making beats and shit." Like I've already heard that shit, but I don't choose to like engrave it in my heart because at the same time, I definitely get a lot of support. I definitely get a lot of people saying like, "Oh, bro, you're gonna make it. This is your year. Keep doing what you're doing. I love what you're doing. You going crazy. All this type of shit." So I just choose to really take that to heart more than the negative shit because people's opinions don't matter regardless, especially the negative ones. But I listen to the positive ones more than the negative shit just to stay, mentally right. But but yeah, like I don't know. I don't know like what today, like the big hits, what big hits are coming out today that niggas are gonna be blasting in like 10 years from now when we in our 30s and shit, when we in our 40s and shit. I don't know. I don't really know. Like I said, I rather personally me, I take the time to build my shit. Start from somewhere. You feel me? And that's kind of like advice to anybody. Just start from somewhere. Because regardless, like as long as you stay at it, you'll have no choice but to get better. So that way you can look back in 3, 4 years and be like, damn, that's where I was. Look at where I'm at now. That's the type of reward that I want to have. That's the type of fulfillment that I want to have. I want to have that, damn, like I really did this for myself. Feel proud of my work. As a man, I want to feel proud of the shit that I did, the shit that I accomplished, the shit that I went through to get to where I wanted to be when everyone said I couldn't do the shit. But that's just me. I know most people are built different, but I definitely want to hear if anybody sees this, I want to hear comments, giving suggestions. Like, what do y'all think is like what is a timeless song? What is a timeless song that has been released in the 2020s or even well, I can think of some shit in the 2010s, but I'm saying more so in the 2020s. Like, what's being timeless right now? So where it's like, for a fact, niggas gonna be listening to that shit in the club 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12 years from now. So just let me know. Definitely tap in, stay in tune. Got a lot of shit coming. Always working. All love.